Hello, I painted a tank and the cowling and the other bits there. Quite pleased with them. I think they come out quite well. Got the straps for the tank hanging up here. They've been primed and they've had the first coat of green, but they still need to have another, at least one more coat anyway. And the handle there, I'm not too sure I'm going to use that or not yet, but I've cleaned up and painted it. So that's them. This front plate holds the crank front main bearings now on, made a new gasket, fitted that. Got a little bit of end float there, just a little bit, so I'm quite pleased with that. That seems to be okay. What I think I need to do now is look at this stator plate. Something I'm going to solder up or connect, I'm not sure what I'm going to do it yet, the HT lead jet to the coil. I think just get that stator plate on, look at the flywheel, a bit more investigation, because this replacement flywheel I've got is also rubbing as well, so need to look into that a little bit further. What else have I done? The exhaust, let's bring it out. Painted it up. That's just done in black smooth right. I find that's quite good for exhaust actually. I used on my 950s Ransom lawnmower on the Villiers engine, and it seems to be quite heat resistant over quite a long period, so I think that should be okay. Alright, so that's that then. Right, I've got the stator plate on. I didn't solder the HT lead for the spark plug to the coil. I was a bit concerned about the excuse me, the heat damaging the coil, so I've just wrapped the wire around and then crimped it up. The key was a little bit rough. I've cleaned it up. Got that back in. Actually, it seems to be okay now. Flywheel's probably not all the way back, not far short though, but the actual problem wasn't it rubbing on the back, if I remember correctly. It was actually the magnets rubbing on the laminations for the coil. So the thing is, I can't put this flywheel on until I've got the piston in, because I need to measure and set the timing. So I have to leave that now so I can get the piston. I haven't got a piston ring compressor, so I'll have a go, but if not, I'll have to see if I can borrow one from somewhere. Just borrow it for a few minutes to get the piston in. Still a bit undecided what to do about this upper big end shell, because it doesn't actually look, it actually looks as if it just actually sort of chunks out the bearing, but it is actually smooth around there. So I think the actual contact parts are okay. They're just like recesses obviously, where the bits are missing. So I might be able to get away with that. Like I said before, I might think about putting this shell at the bottom, the big end, and then swap them over, because this one's taking more pounding than the bottom one. So the piston goes down. So I'll give that a go, I think. Have a look at that. So that's that little bit for now then. Right, the idea I had about swapping these shells over isn't going to work, because if I put the bottom one in this top end, and to make the holes line up, one of these bits here is sitting a little bit proud, so I don't think that's going to work. I think I might get away with this. The engine isn't going to be running a load or anything, it'll be running light, so I'll take a chance on it. It's not obviously the best engineering practice, but that's all I can do, I'm afraid, so let's see how we get on. Alright, managed to get the piston in without using a ring compressor. A bit of a struggle, but got there in the end. It's always a good idea, obviously make sure everything's clean, but oil all the contact moving parts before you put the piston in. Big end journal, the bearings for the big end, the ball, the piston, the rings. Just helps on start up. Nothing's running dry for a few seconds. Right, so okay, I need to put the bottom cap in now, so I'll do that. Right, the piston's now in, all the big ends connected up. All I need to do is put some split pins in. I mustn't forget them. I'm not going to reuse the old ones because they're always weaker second time around. I don't want to risk any problems there. Points. I've checked the gap, seems okay, and I've let's give them a quick clean. So that's okay. So what I need to do now is set the timing, and that's done by altering the position of this stator plate on the magneto. So while we do that, we get the piston onto top dead centre, and then it needs to be 3/16 of an inch below that. So with this, I've measured what the gap is from here to the crown of the piston on top dead centre, and added the 3/16 onto that. So now it's just a question of undoing these two bolts and adjusting this until the points are just opening. So I'll have a look at that now. Right, we're looking at this timing for quite a while now with no success. As I said before, these two bolts need to be undone, and then we can adjust this plate. And the idea is just to get the points just starting to open when the piston's at 3/16 below top dead centre. Trouble is, every time I tighten up either one of these bolts, it moves the stator plate, so I need to maybe think about sort of temporarily putting something behind here, packing it a little bit, so try and keep it in its right position. It's causing a bit of a headache, and I think I need to have a bit of a break from now and start afresh later on. This is a book I'm using. I find quite useful for this engine. It also covers a wide range of J.A.P engines, from a little O 2-stroke up to a Model 6. So that's quite a useful book to have if you're messing about these engines. I did temporarily put the head on and a plug in just out of interest, really, just to see what the compression was like. It feels okay. One thing I might not mention before is when I put the piston rings in, I did stagger the gaps, so that should aid compression quite a lot. You don't want all the gaps one below the other. Yeah, I think that's okay. This HT lead feels nice and secure. Like I said, I didn't really want to risk soldering that up, risk damaging the coil, so it's just been wrapped around there tightly and crimped up a little bit. Yeah, I need to make a gasket for this chest cover here. Do that maybe next weekend. Yeah, so I think that's about it. So thank you very much for watching.